But the way that I eat right now, you guys, and I'm not suggesting that anybody does this, all I'm gonna say is that I am growing in the most intense way where I feel like a battery that hit 100% charge, and now I'm shocked that it's going beyond 100. The energy I have right now is so intense that it almost feels kind of dangerous. It's like, whew, is this okay? Like, I'm just radiating. And I'm entering into these states of consciousness where I now know that it's expanding over time. It's not like reaching a plateau. So I know where this is leading because I saw my future many years ago, over a decade ago, in a Kundalini awakening. And I know that that's where this path is taking me. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've reached states of consciousness with this way of eating where it's like, I ask myself, is this even fucking legal? Like, we're not supposed to feel this good. We're not. And that's why they engineer us to live in a fallen state. That's why they want us all sick. Real health, you guys, is fucking dangerous. Because it's dangerous to the parasitic system that's been running the show and promoting the Antichrist culture. Right? That's what it is. So we don't know what real health is as a species. And that's why people don't know that real health is true wealth, because the definition of health that people have is incorrect. Health is far more than a multivitamin and swimming in a chlorinated pool for 2 hours every other fucking day. How did we get so led astray? How have we fallen for such nonsense? It's insane to me, you guys. But we live in a world where your average person is a cyborg. And what I mean by that is, guys, they've sprayed megatons of barium, aluminum, mylar fibers, chaff, radioactive isotopes, gene editing, nanotech, Smartdust, like radar surveillance, neuronal nanobots. You're full. You're full of it. So they've turned the average human into an automaton who thinks that he or she actually has free will. You do not have free will. When you have colonies of Smartdust surveilling everything that you do, predicting your genetic output, and like, they know what you're gonna do before you even do it. They know what you're thinking, guys. They can predict your thinking. When you're in a state like that, you don't have free will. Free will is an illusion. We have some degree of choice in the prison, but that doesn't mean that you're not in a prison. Right? They've turned the human body into a prison. Oh, all you do is fucking fearmonger, Serpent. Would you rather live under a cloud? Would you rather live under the jurisdiction or veil of comforting lies? Why would you succumb to such weakness? How pitiful. You're fearmonger, Serpent. You're just negative, bro. Your energy's like doing the exact opposite of what you wanted to. No, you're like, you guys are gone. You guys are gone. All these little drones that think that they know what they're talking about when they don't. You wouldn't know the truth if it hit you in the face. In order to change, you have to know what to change. And the magnitude of evil that runs the show here, it's a hard pill to swallow. But there's beauty in it because every coin has two sides. There's just as much good here as there is evil. Right? And you start to manifest that goodness as you upgrade. As you get more of your vital body back, your primal body, your etheric body. Like, you don't know what's been stolen from you. Because you grew up in a world where you never knew what was taken from you, right? You grew up without a biofield. They've systematically erased the authentic history of this earth, this dimension we inhabit, through calculated ritual dismemberment, academic dogma, and the weaponization of archaeology. What remains is a sterilized narrative engineered to sever us from the true scope of our ancestors' power and the serpentine fire that once surged through their temples and their bones. The architectural legacy of this world has been deliberately distorted. What once stood as monuments of energetic mastery and spiritual intention has been replaced by concrete slabs, steel boxes, and dead angles, all by design. This war on beauty did not begin with bombs. It began with blueprints, and it has never ended. During the Cold War, the CIA launched covert cultural campaigns to control the aesthetics of the modern world. Through front groups like the Congress for Cultural Freedom, they funded art, literature, and architecture designed to sterilize and depress human perception.
Target acquired.
They weren't just fighting communism. They fought sacred geometry, symbolic power, and spiritually charged space. They glorified brutalism, cold, angular, and lifeless. They championed soulless modernism, glass cages and concrete coffins. They funded a visual language of despair and taught us to call it freedom. But it was psychological warfare, a ritual of spiritual castration carried out in materials and design. But this war didn't begin with the CIA. They're just a late-stage expression, an executive arm of a much older agenda. Long before Langley's corridors echoed with covert art deals and weaponized aesthetics, there was already a slow, surgical dismantling of something far older, the sacred inheritance of the earth itself. This isn't about politics. This is a war on beauty, on resonance, on memory. They've been severing the ley lines of spirit for centuries. They salt the soil of the past to bury technologies that pulsed with living energies. Cities that breathed in rhythm with the stars. Temples that harmonized the body with the earth's own energy fields. They do not want you to remember what your ancestors once were. Not primitives, not beasts, but custodians of divine electricity. Masters of Kundalini, the serpent fire that once surged through stone, skin, and sky. The CIA didn't start this. They just made it fashionable. But the true program is much older. It moves through empires, creeds, and institutions. A long, coordinated effort to shut down Christ consciousness at the center of every human being, to fracture and shatter the soul's circuitry, to collapse the temples, external and internal. We are not merely looking at ugly architecture. We are looking at the intentional suffocation of the human spirit, brick by brick, thought by thought. But they failed to erase everything. The fire is still there, beneath the concrete, and the earth remembers.